The temporary restraining order issued by Superior Court Judge Arthur Barcenas today specifically enjoins each member of the Commissioners of the Guam Ancestral Lands Commission from transferring any part of the 582-acre property that makes up the old FAA site in Finnegadson, and also bars them from transferring any of the 395-acre site in Andy South or the Marlborough area.
The immediate practical effect of this order is that the intended transfer of the land will not occur from this point on until this litigation is resolved.
Veld said that Judge Barcenas found that there was a substantial likelihood that the suit would prevail on its merits. And the judge wrote that the dispossessed members of the class that Veld represents, those who lost land to military condemnations after World War II, would suffer irreparable injury if the Tiyan land swap law were carried out.
If the litigation is resolved favorably to the plaintiffs, then Public Law 30-158 will be held invalid. The property will remain in the land bank of the Ancestral Lands Trust Commission, and all people who are heirs to persons whose property was taken by the federal government, those heirs who are the beneficiaries of the land bank will be entitled to a stream of income, and hopefully we will get that stream of income in place.
The two pieces of property in question are specified in Public Law 158, a law that gives the bulk of ancestral lands to just 10% of the Ancestral Land Bank members. The Ancestral Lands Commission called a meeting this afternoon to start the process of transferring those properties. But GALC attorney and Assistant AG Bill Bischoff had to tell them at the start to stop.
We're just going to hold off on processing any claims related to Public Law 30-158. That's the restraining order has been granted, restraining the implementation of the law, and we're going to abide by it.
Well, I'm kind of surprised that it took them this long. Of course, there are people that feel that they were left out, and of course we're anticipating that they'll have their day in court, the judiciary process, and it would be the last process that this would have to go through, and whatever decision the judge comes up with, we have to adhere to it. But we're very confident in the process that we followed based on the ancestral land rules and regulations.
Veld says his goal is to maintain the land bank as a whole without severing off properties to individual claimants and lease the property as a whole to companies like Thibaut Jortberg to generate income to benefit all the trust members,
which will then provide the stream of income, which is estimated to be over $2 billion, which will then come into the land bank and be held, and then as trustees they will be required to distribute it to the people who are the beneficiaries of the land bank.
But Crawford doesn't buy the Thibaut Jortberg billion-dollar deal talk, and his message to the dispossessed landowners is form your own group and work to get what you're entitled to.
Let's say that the land bank has $10 million. They can't divvy that land out, that money out to anybody who lives in Sumay, because first of all they have to identify all the estates within there, whether they're living or dead. Their estate has to get a portion of that. So it's a difficult process they have to go through, and it's going to take years. It's taken us 9 years to get to this point. But I just wanted to say to them as well that there was this issue that we were very public for 7, 8 years, 9 years, especially this past year, inviting people to come. If they didn't let us know what their concerns were, which they didn't, we wouldn't know their concerns.
It's a little late.
It's a little late.
A hearing on the merits of the class action suit against the Tiyan land swap law is slated for September 22nd. Kevin Kerrigan, PNC News.